I am a cereal man. I hope to never, ever give it up. Like feta cheese and olives, it's in my blood. I hope it never goes away. When I have a morning workout, I generally like me some carbs, and my cereal helps me mentally. Yeah, I need energy. But on these January days when the workouts and the resolutions go out the window, Magic Spoon is the perfect substitute because the carbs also go out the window. I still get that cold splash of non-dairy milk as I spoon in some delightful morning cereal. A healthy breakfast doesn't have to be boring. Magic Spoon has the amazing flavors you love, but without all the bad stuff. And it's amazing as a midday or midnight snack. Check the Magic Spoon analytics. 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, only 4 net grams of carbs, and only 140 calories in each serving. That protein is nice post-workout. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. Build your own box. Get creative out there. Build this box with available flavors. Custom bundle are cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, cinnamon, cookies and cream, and maple waffle. Cookies and cream and maple waffle, you say? Well, they were first introduced for a limited time, but like a No Dunks wedgie NFT, they sold out extremely quickly, and because of that, cookies and cream and maple waffle are back permanently. Go to magicspoon.com/NoDunks to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try it today, and be sure to use our promo code NODUNKS at checkout to save $5. And Magic Spoon is confident in their product. 100% happiness guarantee. You don't like it, you get your money back. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/NoDunks and use the code NODUNKS to save $5. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode.
Well, it's official. We live here now. The Classic Factory. It's our home. I'm going to miss my wife and dog, but I'm looking forward to growing old with you guys here. We got a first in No Dunks /starters /Basketball Jones history. Our second emergency podcast of the day. Soon after talking about the CJ McCollum to the Pelicans deal, which we did its own separate podcast for, I got in my car, likely Ellis, as you can tell, and took off. And then I see my phone. I'm 5 minutes from home. Tass Mellis calling. Tass never calls me. What?
No.
And, I better take this. And Tass says, you got to get your ass back here. We got ourselves another trade. Oh my goodness. I almost stepped on the poor Southern lawyer.
Say it, man.
Hey, did you find a hat?
We got ourselves a trade.
There it is. It's southern looking, isn't it? Like you're on the golf course or something like that.
There's a peach on that.
Exactly right. This is my Larry Luck peepaw hat. We were going to go smack some balls on the Lynx today, but I told him, hey, there's a good chance some trades are going to come down. Might not be able to make it. So we're not going to make it. Oh. But I got the peepaw hat.
All right. Well, we got the Southern lawyer, Trey Kirby. We got Tass. I'm Skeets. We got JD pushing the buttons. Lee, he's long gone. You know, as soon as the podcast ends, he's gone. And he lives too far away. But we do have another trade, so let's get right into it. Hey, take a second, like the video, subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube. Hopefully you guys are really enjoying this chaotic sort of podcast feed or YouTube feed, whatever you want to call it here today.
What are we going to do on Thursday?
Well,
this is what we were going to do on Thursday.
Yeah, there's nothing left.
No.
Yeah,
we're just going to be sitting here.
Twiddling our thumbs. Let's get into the trade. The one you guys all want to hear about. Instant reaction, some trade grades. The Indiana Pacers are trading Domantas Sabonis, Justin Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, and a future second-round pick to the Sacramento Kings in exchange for Tyrese Haliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. So 3 for 3, a 2027 second-round pick thrown in there too. But Sabonis, the big piece, going to Sacramento, and then Haliburton and Hield going to Indiana. But what's your initial reaction to this? What did you guys do in here? Well, I wasn't here.
Oh, me and Tass, we were standing up, we were chest bumping as hard as we can. Wow. Another trade, man! And what we kept screaming at each other, into each other's face, the race for the 10th seed in the Western Conference is heating up. Yes. The Pelicans brought in a near all-star in CJ McCollum, so the Kings simply had to one-up them by bringing in two-time all-star Domantas Sabonis, while giving away perhaps their most beloved player in Tyrese Haliburton. I'll say, we kind of thought Sabonis would be traded. Kind of thought Buddy Hield would be traded.
Yeah.
Haliburton, maybe. At least he was in the rumor mill a little bit, but I definitely didn't expect that these three would be traded for each other. And man, it is weird because everybody's saying, what are you doing, Kings?
Including
Fair
you?
enough.
Including you?
I'm a little more okay with it. Because when I say, like, when you hear somebody say, what are you doing, Kings? All you got to do is pull up the franchise index of the Sacramento Kings and see that they haven't made the playoffs since the year 2006. That's what they're doing. They're trying to get into the playoffs, and they're counting the 10th seed as the playoffs. They're bringing in Domantas Sabonis, a good player who's going to be very helpful for them. He's probably going to be the best King since Boogie Cousins was still in town. A legitimate all-star. An offensive player first and foremost, a guy you can build an okay offense around. He might pair nicely with De'Aaron Fox there, but giving up Haliburton is the big part of it. But on the other hand, you got to trade something to get something back. Obviously, they want to make a push here to try and get into a postseason. It ain't really the playoffs, but close enough if you're the Kings. So you got to give up something good, and if they could have traded De'Aaron Fox, I'm sure they would have. But there's a reason the Pacers wanted Tyrese Haliburton over Fox, so I don't know if I necessarily would do it if I were the Kings. I would have much rather given up Hield in another trade, right? Like, that's a guy you could have moved somewhere else. And Tristan Thompson's got a big contract. You could have moved him somewhere else, too. But putting them all together, it looks weird to do it for Sabonis. It really feels like they're going all in on trading for the 10th seed. But, hey, man, the 10th seed for the Kings would be like winning an NBA championship.
What do you think?
Yes, they want to get in there, but I'm surprised that Haliburton's been dealt. I would have kept him as the only untouchable. I understand Sabonis is definitely the best player in this deal. He is a very, very capable guy at 25 years of age, two-time All-Star. The Kings are better today, for sure, than they were yesterday. But I don't do it. I think when your first response on the phone was, Haliburton? What?
Yeah, I was shocked.
Yes, and as is the internet. The responses the ones I saw, Tyler R. Tyne said there should be laws against the Kings having a franchise. Tyrese trade makes legit 0 sense, says Taylor Rooks. HP Basketball said, like, the Kings just went all in at 20 and 35. What in God's name?
Good point.
Yeah, they're making a push literally to try and be a fringe playoff team, and I don't think that franchise index should indicate that they make the playoffs if they make the 10th seed and then don't make the real playoffs.
Right.
They shouldn't. I think that Tyrese Haliburton has the potential to be just as good as Domantas Sabonis. I think he's doing it in relative anonymity there in Sacramento, but the real stats are that he is balling. And maybe because he wasn't a high draft pick, he wasn't a top 10 pick, so people are sort of overlooking what he's doing now until a guy in the teens really breaks out and proves that he's an all-star. Then we believe he's an all-star. But the stats indicate that this guy can do it on the ball. He can be a legit three-point shooter off the dribble. According to Kirk Goldsberry, he's second in three-point percentage of off-the-dribble threes in the entire league of players that have shot at least 100. Now, that again, I think he's doing an anonymity in there in Sacramento. He makes 42.6% of his catch-and-shoot threes, 11th in assists, far younger than Sabonis. So those stats, to me, combined with the fact that this guy is always smiling and happy to be in Sacramento. I mean, the guy's, if you go to his basketball reference page, ear-to-ear grin. There aren't a lot of players that are super happy to be in Sacramento, and I think that counts for something. I would rather build around him and try and be that 10th team than go after Sabonis, who obviously makes them better. And they did a good job of getting off the Buddy Hield contract in this instance, so that's part of it for sure. But I would just, you said, best player since Cousins. Agreed. Best draft pick that they've made since, I don't know. Since Cousins, yeah, sure. I guess so. That's a decade plus of missing on draft picks. Why not keep this one that you've hit a home run on? That you made a huge steal. So I don't know. Their ceiling is around that play-in tournament, and you're trading for a far more expensive player in Sabonis who's on a good contract. I think they probably should have slow built it a little bit more. Even though they are a better team today than they were yesterday.
Yeah. So do you think there's like some just reshuffling of the deck chairs here with sort of both of these franchises? Like, I actually do like it from the Pacers. If you're high on Haliburton, then you're really pumped because you think maybe we just did what we did with Paul George not that long ago, where, we trade him and at time we gave up the best player in a trade, but then suddenly it's like Sabonis and Oladipo turning into like two really good players. And now trading Sabonis, maybe they're hoping Haliburton turns into that all-star level, which you're pretty convinced it sounds like.
I think so.
But as for the Kings, this is now a Sabonis-Fox team with Mitchell. Is that... What type, those two guys as your star? Because you say include Fox instead of Haliburton. Okay, easier said than done because of the contract, right? I mean, he is a max contract player. Basically, De'Aaron Fox is having signed that deal. Haliburton, of course, second year still. But what are you getting from this squad here? Sabonis and Fox. You say they're better today, but is this moving forward? You can put the pieces around them, like you have a big and a small. Does it make more sense in terms of your roster build, Trey, instead of all these guards that you had there and have drafted?
Well, they don't have anybody who can shoot the ball right now, which I do think may be a bit of a problem around De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. I guess the thinking is you try and address that in the summer, bring in some shooters. Guys that can make threes are fairly easy to find at a high percentage. I don't know. At least maybe the Kings will have something of an identity right now, because now they're just bad on offense and bad on defense. They're going full offense, I guess, if you're going to be building around Sabonis and Fox. I don't know exactly how they're going to pair together. Fox is one of the fastest guys in the league. Sabonis likes to smash his body into you as hard as he possibly can. So I would imagine the Kings still have some moves to be made here. Marvin Bagley is still around as well. I don't know that Rashawn Holmes and Domantas Sabonis front court is a lot different than Domantas Sabonis and Miles Turner. But if they were going to trade Haliburton, would you have rather them included him in a package for Ben Simmons or a package for Domantas Sabonis? Maybe because Simmons is younger, you would want Simmons. He's got a little bit more of a pedigree as a defender as well, but we obviously know his limitations, which offensively, no jumper, similar to Domantas Sabonis. So I don't know. I'm tuning in, though, to see who gets this 10th seed, and it's probably gonna be the Spurs. All these trades are gonna happen. Pelicans and the Kings are making all these moves, trading all these players, and it's gonna be the Spurs that just sneak in there.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, the Kings could legitimately miss out for sure. With the moves that we're seeing here. Yeah, there are a few teams that are out of it, but the Kings are gonna be rivaling other teams, and if you are shuffling the deck chairs or the duck chairs, if you're shuffling the deck chairs, I would rather do it with a guy who wants to be there in Tyrese Haliburton. De'Aaron Fox's body language has not been good this year. He's having a poor year, and to me, with everything going on in that locker room, where you've got Alvin Gentry coming out after a game and saying that was despicable, the worst thing I've ever seen in basketball, and that man is a lifer. I just find it confusing to trade a guy who wants to keep that morale up in Tyrese Haliburton. I mean, I know I'm sort of taking it off the floor a little bit, but on the floor too, I think Tyrese Haliburton has easily the potential to be an all-star with what we're seeing and what the stats say. And again, it's off the dribble. It's a catch and shoot guy as well. And he's a great locker room guy, and he can be a leader. Now, he's not a superstar. I don't think anyone is saying that about him, but yeah. Well, what's the ceiling here, as you said, for this Kings team? I don't know. Have a guy you like in the locker room rather than what they're going to be pushing ahead with for this next 35 game run here. I don't know. Is Sabonis going to come in and love it there? It just seems like everybody hates it. Everybody despises
because
it.
they don't win. Nobody likes losing.
Yeah, but they're not trying either. I mean, Sabonis, you can definitely build an offense around him. So we'll see what he does out there.
Haliburton, I mean, again, you're very, very high on him, and I get it, but he also could be just Malcolm Brogdon 2.0. Good player, borderline all-star player, probably never there, in Malcolm's case at least, but you see more of a ceiling,
I think he's better.
Higher ceiling than
I think he's better.
Okay.
Even though, and I love me some Malcolm.
Yeah, so do I.
He can't stay on the floor. But yeah, Haliburton's already proven. I think he's able to shoot off the dribble. That's not Malcolm's forte.
Yeah,
it's never.
True.
Malcolm's a catch and shoot guy.
There's a big difference there. Okay, for the Pacers now. What does this mean for Miles Turner? He's obviously injured right now, but we kept saying they gotta, these two trades that we've just discussed here today. The Blazers finally decide to split up McCollum and Lillard. McCollum going to the Pelicans. And now here the Pacers finally decide to split up their bigs that everybody said, I don't know if this is going to work, man. You got to get rid of one of them. So they get rid of Sabonis. Does that mean Miles Turner is there for the long run? We'll try this now as we split them up. and pick our center in Turner and to pair with all these guys? Or is it possible even that this is a real legit fire sale from Indiana and that another team could come in and still get him?
We shall see. Woj is reporting that Miles Turner is thrilled with the idea of playing alongside Tyrese Haliburton. So he's sticking around. Who knows? But I think it could mean that Brogdon's time is numbered in Indiana. He can't be traded right now, but he could be traded in the offseason.
Right.
And if you bring in the new Malcolm Brogdon, why do you need the expensive one? Ship him out. So we shall see what the Pacers do. I don't think bringing in Haliburton means that they have to keep Turner, but so if a team wows them, because, Turner's been a guy that's been in trade talks for a couple of months here. There are a lot of teams who could use a plug-and-play center like him, but I can also see it working out for the Pacers to have him actually come back to the lineup when he returns from injury and have a nice little pick-and-roll, pick-and-pop chemistry alongside Haliburton there. So I guess we'll see if anybody knocks their socks off for a Miles Turner deal. I don't see that happening, but I don't know. I could see Malcolm Brogdon being on the trade block come summertime.
And then sort of similar question with the Kings. What does this mean for, we said Marvin Bagley, but what about Harrison Barnes even?
Well, I'll say Miles Turner's probably pumped that Domantas Sabonis is gone. Not because he doesn't like Domantas Sabonis, but because he's going to get all the touches in the world as they're big, right? He's coming into this trade season here. He said he wanted a bigger role. Here it comes. Pick and pop, baby. You could shoot all you want. I mean, he is going to touch the ball plenty. So I think he's pumped. This is a recharge for him. And coming into this little trade season, the Pacers front office said we want picks and we want young guys. Now, no picks in this deal. No first-round picks coming their way. Just Tyrese Haliburton, really, when it comes down to it. Buddy Hield, he ain't young. He's getting older by the day. every year there's a year added to his birth certificate. I'm high on Tyrese Haliburton. Does this match the Vooch trade package that came back for the Magic last year? No. The 2 first-round picks, but yeah, you got to be high on Haliburton if you like this for the Pacers for sure. And I am, I definitely am, and I think he'll.
So you like the roster they're building here? I mean, they're obviously retooling, rebuilding, whatever you want to call it, starting over. But you have Tyrese Haliburton. You still have Brogdon, of course.
Remind me, because it's easy to forget all these names.
Well, yeah, and a couple guys left in Holiday and Jeremy Lamb. We didn't really sort of bring them up there going to Sacramento. And they're players. That means Sacramento needs all of those that they can get. But yeah, back to the Pacers. Brogdon, obviously. Haliburton. You've got Chris Duarte, who's, your recent pick. Turner is still there. Who am I forgetting?
A lot of role guys. TJ McConnell.
Right.
Another TJ who's injured all year. TJ Warren.
And then, of course, their fingers crossed that they hit a lottery pick, a very high one at that, to try and get someone of note to throw in there, right?
Right. Yeah. So they got a pick in the 20s and a pick in the 30s for Karis LeVert.
Yes.
Can they package those up to move up, or can they just be very bad in the Eastern Conference and fall down there?
And having their own pick, right?
Yes. For that exact reason. Get bad. Hope you knock out a great pick, because they're in the 5 spot right now in terms of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be a quick. I mean, that's a decent team if everybody's healthy. Is the problem obviously when it comes to Brown and stuff like that. And then who knows what they're moving like. Is Hield there for the long run, as a shooter off the bench?
People will still be calling on him, I imagine.
Yeah, for sure. He's 2 years left on his deal. That's around $20 million ballpark. So, yeah, they're going to keep doing all of these moves here. But you could see, I don't know, I start to go, okay, if you love Tyrese Haliburton and you get a pick, you got to get this high pick that obviously blossoms sort of in the next couple of years, turns into a really good player, then they're right back in the mix is what my point is.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be like a tank team for 5 or 6 years by any means, and they don't want to be that in Indiana.
It's a good tear down. You got to tear it down. They've been middling in that realm of mediocrity for a while. Mm-hmm. I think you have to. And so Miles Turner's out now. Keep him out.
Oh yeah,
right.
Hang out with that ankle injury for a while. There's no need to come back. Keep making those TikTok videos, Miles Turner. You don't need to come back right now. Just chill.
Okay, so trade grades. Kings, what are you giving this from their side of things? In giving up Haliburton, giving up Hield, Tristan Thompson, getting Domantas Sabonis back, though. What do you think? What's the trade grade?
I'm giving him a C+.
Okay.
I don't love giving up Haliburton, but they did get Sabonis.
Right.
He's a good player. He's the best player currently in this deal. I think Haliburton probably outstrips him by the time their careers are done. I don't know. To me, the thing you're thinking about with the Kings here is the opportunity cost of it all, right? Like, you could have traded Hield for something else, maybe a pick, and you're rebuilding, but then you're rebuilding once again. So, so I don't know. I'm having a hard time getting upset for the Kings here because, yeah, they gave up Haliburton. I hate it too, but they did bring in Sabonis. All they want to do is play in a postseason game. That's all the Kings have ever wanted in their lives, and I think they at least have a chance at it, a better chance today than they had yesterday. I'm gonna give an A to Tyrese Haliburton because if you're a Kings fan and you love this guy so much, you should be happy he's out of your franchise where he can go have happiness somewhere else. And the Pacers, I think, I don't know. Would you rather have draft picks or would you rather have Tyrese Haliburton?
Yeah, that's a fair question.
I think you would rather have Tyrese Haliburton because you're getting a top 5 pick this year. You just traded for a top 20 pick or a 20 through 30 pick and a 30 through 40 pick or whatever it is. So like you're saying, Skeets, they don't like a long rebuild in Indiana. And it seems like with Haliburton and 3 first rounders, at least they will be on the upswing to fun young team right away.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You're selling hope there today, and you didn't have that yesterday. And the Kings don't have that. I still think.
Well, the Kings need to pray that Sabonis and Fox are just like this unbelievable offensive 1-2 combo, be it this year or even into next season, with Sabonis still under contract. Like, they have to pray because otherwise, if it's not, or if they still continue to not be able to stop anybody, which has always been their problem, then they just gave up. You know, they're a future star, which you guys are convincing me of Haliburton is and may become, for a 2-year rental. Right? Just with this praying that, again, it just like invigorates Fox and having a big that you can go into and you can get buckets from him. Again, they'll be able to do that. He's going to put up some monster numbers, Sabonis is, but is that going to translate into wins? Because if it doesn't, then holy crap. They have tried to put a Band-Aid over this and it's just like, it's made it worse. Now it's infected.
Yeah. If you remember the play-in tournament last year, Sabonis was the head of a snake of a Pacers team that bounced out in the play-in tournament. And it was him and Malcolm Brogdon trying to make it work. Now it's going to be him and Fox, and that's the worrisome part. Fox doesn't seem all that jazzed to be there. He's not having a great year. He signed there long-term. They did get off. They did trade Buddy Hield's contract away, which works for them
and
financially.
And they have Davion Mitchell, who they just drafted, so they like what he brings defensively, and you can pair with Fox, even though they're smaller, Grades for the Kings then?
I wouldn't. Don't like. They did get the best player, but I'd drop it to a C-. Because I see both sides. I've been a fan of a horrendous franchise as well that's missed the postseason, and you just want to get back. And at the same time, they're kind of middling. They're not selling hope. They're just selling this team that could get into the play-in tournament picture and could have an okay couple of years here with a core of De'Aaron Fox, who again is supposed to be your first or second best player and just isn't living up to it. And I just worry that the life will be sucked from Domantas Sabonis once he gets to Sacramento too. So that's the worrisome part. And you just had a guy, the homegrown guy. You just drafted him. In Tyrese Haliburton that looked pretty happy to be there. So I'm a little perplexed by that.
And you're bumming me out, man. I drove all the way back for this. Holy crap. And I love De'Aaron Fox. I mean, I hope to see him play, obviously like he did last year at times, and a lot better than he is this year. And having a big that he can pair with will maybe help them win column, but I'm not convinced. I mean, by any means.
So do the Kings.
Yeah,
they're paying him for a long time.
Yes, they are. Okay, well, any final thoughts here? Because what needs to happen is we have to wrap up this. I need to get back in my car, get 1 minute from home, and then for you to call me and say that James Harden and Ben Simmons have been traded for one another, and then I'll turn right back around, and we'll just do it all over again. But any final thoughts here on the Pacers case? Here is a question that we debated. Because I was going to put it in the thumbnail, going to put it in the title. Is this a blockbuster? Sabonis, Haliburton, Hield, Justin Holiday, who people are pointing out can't even play in Sacramento. because apparently he's not vaccinated.
Yes.
I don't know if this is true.
Yes.
He's got to get moved, I think.
We got Lamb.
Plus, he can't play.
Blockbuster. No.
I'm going no. I mean, a two-time All-Star.
But
No, this is not a blockbuster, but we're building.
It could be the biggest trade of the deadline. I mean, hopefully it's not.
Let's hope not. Look where we started. Cam Reddish,
Yep.
Norm Powell,
Yeah.
CJ McCollum,
Yes.
Domantas Sabonis,
Yes.
James Harden,
LeBron James.
LeBron James, James Naismith.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we are building.
We're
here.
building. They're
great.
going to ship James Naismith to MLB, and MLB founder Abner Doubleday will become the founder of basketball, actually.
Wow. That's a block.
Just what I'm hearing from my sources.
Oh.
That's a blockbuster.
Okay. So you would agree this one's not a blockbuster, but
For us basketball geeks, this isn't a blockbuster.
I mean, let's be honest. Right now, two shitty franchises, because win losses, so that hurts it. A blockbuster usually is like the Pacers and Kings are not suddenly, going to be storming through the playoffs here. It's not shaking the league up.
Yeah, but Vucevic last year was traded from a franchise that's struggling to a Bulls team.
Yeah, we didn't call it a blockbuster.
No.
Vooch?
Yeah, you're
I
right.
don't think we did.
I mean, only because it was his team. We talked about it way more than we probably would have otherwise.
No, because it was the biggest deal at the deadline. It felt like a
right.
blockbuster. But I agree. At the time, it didn't feel blockbustery. No. So I guess not.
Okay, well, the stream teams, they seem a little torn. Some people are saying Blockbuster Video. Some people are saying this is more of a Netflix.
This is a brick blister.
We got somebody saying this was about as blockbuster as Suicide Squad. That's from Alex.
No, I never watched it.
Well, which one?
I didn't watch either of them.
Well, one of them was good. One of them was garbage, right, JD? Back me up on that. I feel like you've seen these, no?
That is 100% right.
Right, okay.
One of them was garbage and one of them was pretty good. I wouldn't say great, but pretty good. So neither really a blockbuster
No.
in my mind. So.
No, and neither was this deal, but we're happy about it. Like Trey said, we're growing to something bigger. We're growing to the James Harden, Ben Simmons trade. Or Damian Lillard being traded. Or what other name? I guess those are sort of like the big names.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're getting
Beal, I guess.
Beal
could be a big one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and you
Possibility.
I mean, it's fun to say LeBron James' name.
I was kidding.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were
I heard on a
just saying
podcast
it.
he's in the mix. I don't know. That's what I heard.
I thought you were saying it for the transcribers. I don't know. Maybe it helps the hits.
Oh, you want me to just throw that out there?
Throws
My
in
sources
the
are saying
closed
LeBron
captioning.
James.
Maybe it helps.
I guess Westbrook. Would Westbrook even count anymore if he got traded?
Oh, that hurts.
I gotta say it.
MVP, Hall of Famer,
I
top
guess.
75.
I guess.
It's a blockbuster.
All right. Well, whatever happens next, we'll be back here in the Classic Factory to break it down. If no other trade happens tonight, join us tomorrow morning. Let me say this again, at 10 a.m. Eastern, live here on YouTube to talk about tonight's games, any of the big stories, and maybe some of the minor trades that we will not get back together. Who knows? You never know. I mean, we did a thing on Cam Reddish once upon a time, so now he doesn't even play. Tim's was like, why did you even trade for him? Excuse me? Did a computer accidentally trade for him? We didn't even know. So anyway, we'll be back here in the Classic Factory tomorrow morning for sure at 10 a.m. Eastern live. Thank you to everybody that joined us live. Take a second if you haven't. Like the video, subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube, and leave your thoughts on this trade, on this Pacers-Kings blockbuster in the comments section below. Till then, we'll see you tomorrow.